Well, he's fully recovered, except for a few minor kinks.
Has he asked for anything special?
Yes, this morning for breakfast, he requested something called wheat germ, organic honey, and tiger's milk.
Oh, yes, those are the charmed substances that some years ago were felt to contain life-preserving properties.
You mean there was no deep fat? No steak or cream pies or hot fudge?
Those were thought to be unhealthy. Precisely the opposite of what we now know to be true.
Incredible. Well, he wants to know where he is and what's going on.
I think it's time to tell him.
I can't believe this. My doctor said I'd be up and on my feet in 5 days. He was off by 199 years.
I know it's hard, Miles, but try to think of this experience as a miracle of science.
To me, a miracle of science is I go into the hospital for a minor operation. I come out the next day. My rent isn't 2,000 months overdue. That's a miracle of science. This is what I call a cosmic screwing. And where am I, anyhow? I mean, what happened to everybody? Where are all my friends?
You must understand that everyone you knew in the past has been dead nearly 200 years.
But they all ate organic rice.
You are now in the year 2173. Now, this is the central parallel of the American Federation. This district is what you probably call the southwestern United States. That was before it was destroyed by the war.
War?
Yes, according to history, over 100 years ago, a man named Albert Shanker got a hold of a nuclear warhead.
You will remain in hiding here for 2 weeks while we run a battery of tests on you. Then, when we think you've fully recovered your strength, we'll discuss the plans.
I still can't believe this. What do you mean hiding? Who am I hiding from? What does she mean hiding?
Well, you might as well know, Miles, that reviving you as we did was in strict opposition to government policy.
What we've done is highly illegal, Miles, and if we get caught, we'll be destroyed, along with you.
What do you mean destroyed? What do you mean destroyed?
Your brain will be electronically simplified.
My brain? It's my second favorite organ.
Resistors to mind reprogramming will be exterminated for the good of the state.
What kind of government you guys got here? This is worse than California.
There is a growing underground, Miles. And someday the revolution will come and we can overthrow our great leader.
Look, you gotta be kidding. I want to go back to sleep. If I don't get at least 600 years, I'm grouchy all day.
We're taking him along too fast. He's still emotionally unstable.
I can't believe this. I go into the hospital for a lousy ulcer operation. I lay around in a bird's eye wrapper for 200 years. I wake up, suddenly I'm on the 10 most wanted list.
He's ranting. We'd better tranquilize him.
I knew it was too good to be true. I parked right near the hospital.
Now here, you smoke this, and be sure you get the smoke deep down into your lungs.
I don't smoke.
It's tobacco. It's one of the healthiest things for your body. Now go ahead. You need all the strength you can get.
You know, I bought Polaroid at 7. It's probably up millions by now.
Now we have certain artifacts here, which we date from 1950 to 2000. We'd like any information you can give us on them. Very little exists. For instance.
This was Joseph Stalin. He was a communist. I was not too crazy about him. Had a bad mustache, a lot of bad habits. This is Bela Lugosi. He was the mayor of New York City for a while. You can see what it did to him there. You know, this is Charles de Gaulle. He was a very famous French chef. Had his own television show. He showed you how to make souffles and omelets and everything. This is Scott Fitzgerald over here, very romantic writer, big with English majors, college girls, you know, nymphomaniacs. Very well. This is Chiang Kai-shek, who I was not too crazy about either. This is Billy Graham. He was very big in the religion business. You know, he knew God personally. They got him his complete wardrobe. You know, he used to go out on double dates together. It was a very, very big thing. They were romantically linked for a while. This is some girls burning a brazier. You notice it's a very small fire. This, I don't know what that is. It's a photograph of Norman Mailer. He was a very great writer. He donated his ego to the Harvard Medical School for study. And this I can tell you already. This is a centerfold from a magazine we used to call Playboy, which these girls didn't exist in actual life. You know, they were rubberized. You had to blow them up, and then you'd fasten it, and you could spread ointment on them or anything else that you. I'll just take this, you know, and study it later and give you a full report on it.
would you tell me exactly what this is?
This is, you see what this is? This is the chattering teeth. And this you would buy at a store and you take it to a party if you wanted to get big laughs, and you put it down on the coffee table or something, you know, and you set it off. And then, you see how funny it is? The teeth chatter. They're plastic.
I am going at this time to give to this television and radio audience.
Some of us have a theory that he might once have been a president of the United States, but that he did something horrendous, so that all records, everything was wiped out about him. There is nothing in history books. There are no pictures on stamps, money.
Yes, he actually was president of the United States, but I know that whenever he used to leave the White House, the Secret Service used to count the silverware.
Thank you very much, Jimmy. From the beginning, Muhammad Ali's career was marred by controversy, and who knows, it may have ended last Saturday in the very same way. From the beginning, he
First, we didn't know exactly what this was, but we've developed a theory. We feel that when citizens in your society were guilty of a crime against the state, they were forced to watch this.
Remember the way it began? March of 1964. That's where it really began.
Yes, that's exactly what that was.
What is it?
It's a 200-year-old Volkswagen. They really built these things, didn't they?
Registered commies, not guns. What's that mean?
What?
Registered commies, not guns.
Oh, he was probably a member of the National Rifle Association. There was a group that helped criminals get guns so they could shoot citizens. It was a public service.
I don't see that.
It's a New York Times. Be careful. From 1990. Pope's wife gives birth to twins.
You know, we don't have cities like New York anymore.
Really? No cities at all?
No, but I went to the university at a population center.
You went to a university? It's hard to believe. For what?
Cosmetics, sexual technique, and poetry.
No kidding. They teach you sexual technique in school?
You have to know it in case something goes wrong with the machine.
What do you do? Switch to manual?
Where did you learn about sex?
Me? From my mother. When I was a little kid, I asked her where do babies come from. And she thought I said rabies. She said from a dog bite. And a week later, a lady on the block gave birth to triplets. I thought she was bitten by a Great Dane. That's perfect. We'll dump it in the water. They'll never find it.
What's it feel like to be dead for 200 years?
It's like spending a weekend in Beverly Hills. Hey, don't bother to help. It's a light car.
Were you scared? Do you believe in God?
Do I believe in God? I'm what you would call a teleological existential atheist. I believe that there's an intelligence to the universe, with the exception of certain parts of New Jersey.